As tensions rise in the Middle East once again, the US Navy has responded with its full weight, revealing something no one expected to see by sending not just one, but a second carrier group to Israel. A single carrier group holds on average around 6 main vessels, each at a cost of between $10 billion and $13 billion each, and with the second group having been sent, that puts the level of support at well over $100 billion. The presence of these powerful naval assets is not just a show of support for Israel, but also serves as a stern warning to other regional players, notably Iran and Russia. The Eisenhower, along with other ships, represents a formidable force that can project power far beyond its immediate vicinity. The unmistakable message being conveyed is that any assistance to Hamas in its conflict against Israel will be met by the US Navy and by the extremely expensive fleet floating off their shores. Such a significant military presence in the region is bound to cause anxiety among Israel's adversaries, especially Palestine. Palestine already faces a precarious situation because of its ongoing conflict with Israel, and now it confronts an even more daunting challenge. The US Navy's choice to dispatch not one but 2 carrier groups to the region highlights the US's serious perspective on the situation. This move is likely perceived by the Palestinians as a clear indication of the US's unwavering support for Israel, further tilting the balance of power in their favor. The psychological impact of such a massive naval presence cannot be understated. For the Palestinian leadership and its people, the sight of these warships is a stark reminder of the military strength they are up against. It's not just about the physical threat posed by these ships, but also the broader geopolitical implications. With the US firmly backing Israel, the chances of garnering international support for the Palestinian cause becomes even more challenging. And beyond that, the presence of these ships could potentially deter other regional players from intervening in the conflict. The US's message to Iran and Russia is clear. Any support to Hamas will have consequences. This adds another layer of complexity to the already intricate web of alliances and rivalries in the Middle East. But it's not just the fact the US has sent these carrier groups, but rather what these carrier groups can do that's got people watching. The vast, mysterious oceans have always been a stage for nations to showcase their strength at sea. For a significant chunk of history, Great Britain ruled these waters, their ships cutting through waves, asserting dominance, and ensuring that the sun never set on the British Empire. However, as the smoke of World War II cleared, a new titan emerged on the horizon. The United States, with its resources and technological advancements, rose to take the title of the world's leading naval force. It wasn't just about the number of ships or the firepower they possessed. It was about innovation, strategy, and the sheer will to remain at the front of the pack. Central to the US Navy's pride and power are its nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. These behemoths of the sea are not just ships, they are floating cities, equipped with state-of-the-art technology and capable of projecting power across vast distances. When one thinks of American naval might, the image that often comes to mind is that of these colossal carriers, cutting through the ocean, ready to respond to any threat. The United States stands alone in its naval capabilities, being the only nation boasting 11 operational aircraft carriers. That isn't just a number, it's evidence of a country committed to maintaining its edge in naval warfare. With nations developing hypersonic capabilities, the relevance of these carriers is often questioned. But their strategic importance, combined with their technological advancements, ensures they remain a presence to be aware of on the world stage. But where did this idea of a floating runway for aircraft carriers come from? Well, credit, as with many modern naval innovations, goes to the Americans. The year is 1903, and for the first time, an airplane, the core symbol at the time of human design and the dream of flight, takes off from the ground. It would only take 7 years from this first flight before the plane was incorporated by the US Navy, launching them from the deck of the USS Pennsylvania in 1910. This moment was not just a technological achievement, but it marked the beginning of a new era in naval warfare. Over the past century, the US has been at the forefront of this innovation. They haven't just rested on their successes, they've continuously evolved, developing 18 different types of aircraft carriers. Each iteration was an improvement on the last, incorporating lessons learned and leveraging new technologies. And then came along the USS Gerald Ford, the gem in the crown of naval engineering. Imagine a floating fortress, a marvel of modern engineering, gliding effortlessly through the oceans. This state-of-the-art vessel isn't just another ship, but a specially crafted capability that's kept the American fleet on the radar of their rivals. The USS Gerald Ford's capabilities are nothing short of incredible. Powered by nuclear energy, this platform has an operational lifespan that sounds almost fictional. Believe it or not, on a single reserve of nuclear fuel, the Gerald Ford can sail the seas for a staggering 50 years. That's half a century without needing to refuel. It just keeps going and going. But it's not just about longevity. The Gerald Ford is equipped with cutting-edge technology that sets it apart, with 3 state-of-the-art electromagnetic catapults launching aircraft into the skies with precision and efficiency. The USS Gerald Ford isn't playing around. It has the capacity to house an impressive fleet of 90 aircraft. Among these are the formidable 5th-generation F-35C fighters, the apex predators of the skies. Now, while the Gerald Ford is undoubtedly a force to be reckoned with, it doesn't operate in isolation. The environments can be unpredictable and threats can emerge from any direction. Enter the carrier strike groups, the unsung heroes that ensure the safety and efficacy of these floating fortresses. Think of a carrier strike group as a protective bubble around the aircraft carrier. Within this bubble, you'll find an impressive array of naval power. A typical group isn't just about the aircraft carrier at its heart. It's a meticulously coordinated assembly of guided missile cruisers, agile destroyers, steadfast frigates, and the silent but deadly nuclear-powered submarines. Each vessel plays a crucial role, ensuring the group's collective strength is greater than the sum of its parts. Behind the machines are the dedicated men and women who operate them. A typical carrier strike group boasts a personnel strength of around 9,000. These are the individuals who work tirelessly day and night, ensuring the group can operate independently for up to 14 days, responding to threats and projecting power when needed. They are a blend of technology, strategy, and specialized roles, keeping the edge on modern warfare, ensuring peace, stability, and showcasing the very best of military innovation. But when we look at the expanse of the ocean and spot the silhouette of an aircraft carrier on the horizon, it's easy to be captivated by its sheer size and power. Behind that awe-inspiring sight lies a complex web of logistics, strategy, and finance. Let's get into the operational costs of these maritime giants. A staggering $6.5 million is poured into the maintenance and operations of just one of these groups every single day. Multiply that by the 10 groups the US operates, and you're looking at a daily expense of $65 million. To put that into perspective, the combined cost of running these groups for just 9 days could fund the construction of an advanced hospital, equipped to serve thousands. But it's not just about the money. The safety and resilience of these carriers are paramount. Back in 2005, the US military embarked on a unique experiment with the USS America. This ship was subjected to a barrage of bombings, torpedoes, and missile attacks in a controlled environment. The aim was to test its durability and identify potential vulnerabilities. For 4 grueling weeks, the USS America withstood this onslaught before finally succumbing to the ocean's depths. There were benefits, though, to the project. It provided a treasure trove of data. Modern aircraft carriers are now designed with these findings in mind, ensuring they are more resilient and fortified than ever before. And with a modern aircraft carrier not just being a floating runway, but being a fortress, it makes sense why seeing a carrier strike group sailing towards your shores would make people concerned. Like any fortress, it's equipped with a range of defensive measures to ward off potential threats. These carriers boast advanced air defense systems ready to intercept any aerial threats. And the danger isn't just from the skies. Beneath the waves, submarines lurk, forcing the carriers to be equipped with top-notch anti-submarine warfare capabilities. Yet, an aircraft carrier doesn't stand alone. It's always accompanied by a protective entourage of ships, each playing a vital role in its defense. This fleet provides the shield, ensuring the carrier remains unscathed and operational. One example of the extreme capabilities within the defensive arsenal of these carriers is the Aegis Combat Information and Control System. This isn't just any system, but more like the eyes and ears of the carrier group. With the ability to detect and track multiple targets simultaneously, Aegis ensures the carrier is always one step ahead of potential threats. The costs involved are monumental, but so are the benefits. These carriers, with their resilience and defensive measures as they glide through the oceans, not only project power, but also symbolize the dedication and commitment to American allies. They are, in every sense, the guardians of the sea. Often referred to in naval circles as small boys, these accompanying vessels, despite their modest crew size of around 350 sailors, are no less formidable in their capabilities. Their presence is measured by the sheer firepower they bring to the table. Cruisers come armed with Tomahawk cruise missiles, enabling them to launch long-distance assaults. But their role isn't just offensive. Many of these cruisers are designed with a protective instinct, boasting ballistic missile defense systems, their primary focus, neutralizing aerial threats and hostile ships that dare to challenge their dominance. Then they have the guided missile destroyers, the shield bearers of the fleet. Their primary mission is defense. Outfitted with advanced anti-missile systems, they stand ready to intercept any incoming threats, whether they come from above the waves, beneath the deep blue, or skimming the ocean's surface. Their abilities extend to anti-submarine operations, ensuring that threats from the deep are kept at bay. And all these capabilities provide a mesh over one another to ensure the effectiveness of the group. While the Pentagon remains somewhat reserved about the exact role these naval assets will play, their presence in the Middle East alone speaks volumes. As Sabrina Singh, the deputy spokesperson for the Pentagon, subtly put it, these ships are in the region for one main reason: deterrence. Their silent yet powerful presence sends a clear signal to any potential adversaries to think twice before stepping into the fight. The overarching objective, as defense insiders have hinted, is to prevent the conflict from escalating. With the situation in and around Israel developing every day, there is no doubt that by sending across this level of support, the US has firmly let them know where their loyalty lies. But should the situation take a turn for the worse and require US intervention, having two powerful strike groups in close proximity ensures that any response will be both immediate and decisive. The US has made their position clear, and the threat to Palestine is real. Any indication of further attacks into Israel or support for Hamas will be met by the full force of these next-generation vessels.